Welcome to another episode of Inspired Voices. My name is Oliver Riera, and this is Samuel French.
Hey everyone, my name is Samuel French, and I'm a professional photographer since, say, around 2020, 2019.
Yeah.
And
yeah. That's, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being
thanks
on the
for
show.
having me. It's wonderful to be here.
I wanted to have you on the show because you grow so fast.
Oh, thanks.
But I can see the passion that you have in photography and videography and acting, whatever you do. I can tell that you have so much passion for things that it drives you forward a lot.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, man. Good job.
Thanks, I really appreciate it. I'm trying my best, just trying to stay focused.
Right. Well, you're doing a good job. Full disclosure, you were one of my students.
Yeah.
Taught acting.
Actually started taking acting classes. I guess, at a point in my life, I was just, going out and having fun with friends. I wasn't really doing anything, I felt like, besides, I guess, my 9-to-5 job. And I felt I wanted to find...
Wait, hold on, before you get into that.
Okay.
Let's take it back. And then we'll go through that. Okay?
Okay, cool.
So let me...
Let's get back.
Where are you from?
Okay. I'm from, actually, Nightdale. Yeah, North Carolina.
Oh, I don't know.
So right next to Raleigh. And I went to school there. I was born in Wilmington, but we moved to Raleigh, or Nightdale, around when I was, 3 or 4, I think.
Okay, gotcha.
And yeah, I've been here pretty much ever since.
Yeah, I didn't know you were a native, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That explains a lot. So how was it growing up in Nightdale?
It was all right.
Yeah,
I mean...
just normal?
Yeah, normal was good.
Right.
I had a pretty good upbringing and raised by great parents and just normal, I guess.
Yeah.
It was good.
I know you got into martial arts.
Yeah.
When did you get into that?
So, I know I kind of backtrack a little bit, but I joined the wrestling team in freshman year, right? And I actually had some guys come up to me. I don't think I knew them. Maybe I did, but they came up to me asking for like a 103-pounder. And when they said they wanted me to join the wrestling team, I'm thinking WWF, WWE. I never even seen singlet, when they're in singles and stuff. Yeah. So I was expecting it was going to be like a ring and chairs. I was like, oh, this sounds fun. So I show up there, and man, I would probably weighed like around 85 pounds or less my freshman year of high school.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, so the lowest is 103. I remember, I think I had 2 weeks of practice, and they put me in a tournament, and I had no clue what I was doing. And I think I got 10 to like 8 seconds.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh.
That's
but,
funny.
I stuck it out all 4 years.
Oh, really?
Fine, the varsity all 4 years, or varsity all those years and stuff after that one. And it was just fun. It got me with a group of people and friends and a sport, and got me into athleticism, which I never thought, because before that, I would just sit around and play video games. I wasn't really doing anything, but I got into that, and then...
Wait, hold on. So, what made you want to go to wrestling, though? I know, people were,
Well, that was the thing. I thought it was like a WWE thing. But
okay. Gotcha.
With me, I feel... Or at least ever since... Maybe that was the first time. I don't know. But I feel like I've always kind of stuck out things. Or I tried to do my best at them.
Yeah.
And it was fun going to practice, even though I wasn't very good in the beginning and everything. I just stuck it out. It was fun, something to do. And it was just fun. And it was fun to get in shape. And...
Gotcha.
I just worked out ever since then, and then my senior year, when I was graduating my senior year, that's when I kind of I started taking jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai, and started doing that. And
so when you were doing the wrestling, you did it for 4 years. That's some commitment right there, man.
Yeah, that's fun.
So have you always had that kind of you said you talked about it a little bit, but you've always had that commitment kind of thing, where you just stick
I guess so. I guess that might have been the first thing that.
Or dedicated?
I was really dedicated to, I guess. Yeah. I guess that was thinking back about it. I mean, because before that, I just played Xbox Live. I didn't really come home, hang out with friends. I was a kid, though. I was middle school,
Right.
I think that was the first thing. I think that actually helped me gain all of that motivation and everything, having a good coach and team, and just learning how to work with a team, and I feel like I learned a lot of skills besides not just wrestling or fighting skills. I think built a lot up inside me.
Yeah, like a lot of confidence and
yeah,
all that
different kinds of things. Yeah, confidence, different things like that. Learn to you got to work for things, work hard for things to get it, and yeah, I learned about loss and failure and how to come back from that. How to be a good loser, be a good winner.
Yeah.
I've learned. I feel like I've always learned both sides of that.
Yeah.
And no matter if I was not good at something, I feel like I've always tried to do as good as I can.
Right. I think martial arts is a good definition of like showing you all those things.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Very bluntly too.
Yeah, and I did it I didn't not because I wanted to beat people up. I just thought the art was fun. I thought the art of martial arts was fun, and I think that is what I liked about it.
Gotcha. Okay. You didn't want to like pin people down and.
I mean, of course I wanted to win. I mean, it'd be nice to win. I mean, the first couple of years, they're tough, man. There's some good guys in wrestling. They're strong.
Oh yeah, wrestlers are fucking strong, man.
Yeah, I always felt wrestling was pretty tough. I always felt I was better at Muay Thai or something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I know you said that it like helped you in life as well. Did you feel like you were on the right track in life when you were taking wrestling? Or is it?
I don't know. I think I was just, I don't think I was thinking like that then.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm just in high school.
Just kind of like living life.
Just living, going to school and I'm on a sport team. I don't think I really knew what I was doing with life then.
Right. Was that your first sports?
I actually played soccer for 8 years before that.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. I was okay at that. Wasn't really good at that either. I mean, it was fun. I did it for 8 years. I think I did it till 7th grade. Okay. And then I didn't do another sport, and that's the only sport I did in high school was wrestling.
Okay, gotcha. Did you have a goal in mind with that, or did you
a goal with wrestling?
Yeah. Like, did you want to take it to college or something like that?
Oh no, it wasn't that good.
Okay, gotcha.
No way. But I probably lost more than I won in high school.
Gotcha.
Honestly.
What kind of led you to take martial arts after high school?
Well, one of our guys on our team who was pretty good at wrestling, he actually started taking some jiu-jitsu classes at this called Team Rock, and it's in Raleigh. It was in Raleigh, and I went to that gym and started doing Muay Thai and jiu-jitsu classes, and then I actually went to college for animation.
Oh sure.
For about a year, maybe a year and a half, near Virginia, and there was a Team Rock up there, kind of, that I went to while I was there. And then when I came back from that school, I continued for years back in Raleigh.
Gotcha.
Kind of off and on, but those first few years is when I was really into it.
Yeah.
And that's when I fought a little bit and stuff. And then
what made you get into it though? Is it like
get into what?
The MMA or Muay Thai? I guess I should say. I don't know.
Muay Thai. Well, I guess I did Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. I mainly did more. I guess Muay Thai. I was off and on with Jiu-Jitsu. I never really gained too much in Jiu-Jitsu. I knew the basics. I got okay at it.
Yeah.
I've always felt like I was better at just punching and kicking.
It's a good transition from wrestling to Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, I do feel I was better at Jiu-Jitsu than wrestling though.
That's good. Yeah, because it works for small guys too.
Yeah, I guess all the holds and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so you went to school for animation.
Yeah, I wanted to be an animator. I always thought it was cool to work for Pixar and stuff like that.
Were you good at drawing and shit?
I could draw some pictures when I was younger. I don't really draw anymore, but I drew a portrait of my dad. He really likes that one. He has it actually hanging up still in his house.
Oh, nice.
And it was actually pretty hard to do the classes, making 3D models on the computer, doing all those kind of things. I was hoping to work for DreamWorks or Pixar. I thought that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I did learn it was actually a pretty hard field to get into after I already started going to school for it. I dove deeper into it, and I heard the pay wasn't as good, and it's really hard to get the jobs, and just but even though it'd be really fun to do, but it also was really hard at the school, at least for me.
Yeah.
Those other art kids in the school were really good, but also I don't feel like I was really pushing myself to do as good as I needed to do. Okay. I got myself kind of focused too much on MMA.
Gotcha.
So I feel most of my focus was there training, even though I wasn't fighting or anything yet, or I was just so focused on that. But I ended up actually dropping out like a year and a half in. I started doing bad or worse in the end, and just and coming back. And
was it just because you just weren't interested in it?
I mean, yes, but I never really was good at school in high school. You know, I just was never dedicated to it like I should have been. You know, I wish you know, if you're in high school or anything, do as good as you can. You know, you want to have a
you can do that. So you know,
you know, try to stay focused on it. You know, because as I get into it, I mean, I went back to school because of these reasons. You know, when I came back from there, you know, I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life, you know?
Yeah.
I was just doing MMA. I moved back in with my dad. You know, he helped me get a job as a janitor at a country club, Prestonwood Country Club in Cary. I did that for like a year and a half. It's just kind of working, not really doing it, you know, didn't know what I wanted to do.
Right.
And then I ended up getting the job at the sheriff's office.
Oh, interesting.
Worked at the jail.
Yeah,
for 3.5 years.
Doing what?
Detention officer.
Oh.
Yeah, so I thought it was a step up from janitor, and I thought it would look good for resumes and things. But, you know, very thankful for all the people that work there. Yeah. But that was a tough job to do for 30 years, you know, 40 years.
What made it tough?
I mean, you know, just that environment.
That environment,
you know, and keeping that.
You see some crazy stuff in there? You see some crazy stuff in there?
Sometimes, yeah, but... it's just a hard environment to be in for 30 years. So many thanks to everybody that can deal with that for so long and do that. But I think it was very good for me, and I think it grew me up a lot.
Oh yeah.
You know, having to manage a whole pod of 56 inmates by yourself, and you know, building as a team, standing together. You know, I think it really grew me up a lot working there. Because I was, you know, when I was 20, I was kind of lazy. You know, 19, I guess. Yeah. 20, I was kind of lazy. I just was doing the janitor job. I was hanging out with friends. Didn't really do anything.
Right. Partying.
Kind of partying, hanging out with friends. Yeah. There was no really life future I had in goal. You know, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just kind of working to work.
Yeah.
But working that job, I was like, man, I don't want to do this for 30 years. I need to go back to school.
Gotcha.
So that's when I got back started going back to Wake Tech.
So did you feel like that was like the only option you had?
Well, I didn't know what else I was going to do. I mean, like I wasn't even thinking about art or any of that kind of stuff. I just, you know, I had the MMA stuff in the back of my mind because, you know, when I was when I fought, that's when I was the janitor.
Okay.
Before I actually got and then I didn't, when I got the job at sheriff's office, the hours were so crazy, it was kind of hard to train. And also, a little bit after I got the job, I tore my ACL training.
Oh, right.
So I was out for, I don't know, a year and a half or so, like a year of training and everything. And I kind of, you know, that's when I started going off and on. I never really fought again after that. But when I was...
After your first fight in the cage?
Well, after those couple fights, when I was working as a janitor, my schedule was a lot better. And after those couple fights, I got the job at the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
And I remember I think I was training for a third fight, and I think I was training for another fight, and that's when I tore the ACL training. I think it was like a couple weeks out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then where was I going with this now?
Well, let's backtrack
a little bit. Yeah.
So let's go into the MMA a little bit. Since that was I felt like that was like the only consistent thing in your life.
Yeah, that was a consistent thing. I started that when I was, I guess, 18 or 19.
Right. And then when did you start competing? Or
I guess when I was 21.
Okay.
20. I was about a year and a half. I just did it for about a year and a half.
Did you feel nervous when you first got in the cage?
You know, it's I guess maybe a little beforehand, but not much. It's kind of weird. As soon as you go in there, it's like a whole new person takes over you. You just kind of blank out a little bit, in a sense. You get tunnel vision, especially at least that first fight. I definitely had tunnel vision because besides wrestling, I never was even in a fight in my life. You know, it was the first time I was punching with someone in my life, like a real fight. But it's just tunnel vision, and you're just kind of going with the motions, you know. And we're training. Once you get tired, your training will kick in, and
Did you feel
kind of
like
automatic.
right? Did you feel like things were going like in slow motion when you were in there?
Honestly, we were swinging for it.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't even know I was going to run at him in the beginning. And I don't think I even made a game plan, honestly, for that first
really?
fight. As soon as the fight started, I ran straight to the other side and just started punching him, and we just went crazy.
Damn.
But man, I wish I trained cardio more, because that end of the first round, I was so tired. But
How many rounds did it go?
huh? Oh, I had actually knocked him out at the end of the first round.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it was like 2 seconds left.
Yeah.
He was throwing his jab, and didn't even know I was going to duck and punch him. Honestly, it was just muscle memory. You know, when he punched the jab, I slipped and hit him and dropped, and I was like, okay. I was like, oh, I didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah.
It was automatic.
I saw that footage, man. And so,
Yeah, thanks. Crazy. That was a long time ago.
yeah, you were shredded too.
Yeah, I need to get back there. Man, I missed that. I missed that body.
So was that the only time that you were in a cage?
I did one more time after that.
Okay, cool.
It was a tie, but I don't know. It was. I think most people think I've won that fight. I don't know why they made it a tie, honestly. I don't know. If you watch the footage, I guess you can form your own opinion, but if it's a tie, it's a tie.
Yeah. Talk to me about like the comparison between the first fight and the second fight.
I think the first fight, I was just all in. I think most people might be like that, where they just go for it, you know? And especially if you've never been in a fight, you're just going for it. The second fight, I kind of held myself back. When I think I definitely could have let myself go more. And I think if I let myself go more, I think I would have won pretty, like maybe second round, maybe first or second. But I felt I was taking my time too much. And there was moments that I could have went more that I didn't, just because I was trying to conserve my energy. And I was trying to be more technical. But I think trying to hold back and be too technical messed me up in the end with that. Yeah. But I mean, I got some good takedowns and punches in and everything. But if I could go back, I would have just been more aggressive. And I think I would have been better.
Right.
But it is what it is. Yeah. I do wish I had that third fight though, or fourth fight. You know, there was so many times throughout that next, I don't know, 8 years. 7 years. I was on and off. I would train for a year, then I'd be off for a few months. I'd train for a few months, be off. It was kind of on and off. Yeah. There were times where maybe I was kind of training for one, or we weren't sure if we were going to find one. But it never really just happened. In life and, you know, relationships, job, especially that schedule. Then, which I guess I shouldn't make an excuse about that. You know, you gotta work around it. But between life and things going on, just never happened again. But I'm okay with it. Yeah. I still undefeated. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. But it would have been cool. I would have been cool to do a little bit more of that when I was younger. Yeah. But it is what it is. Life goes how it is.
Right. I think the third one would have been like kind of like a tiebreaker of the first two fights. Yeah. Because the first one doesn't really count because it's the first one. And the second one, well, even though we got a knockout. It was his debut too, right?
I think it was his second fight. It might have been his debut. I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember. But I was 135 for that first fight. Then I dropped down to 125.
Damn, dude.
So I was like, I think I was walking around 140 or something.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you had a cut from 140 to 125?
Well, maybe 135 to 125 because I was still kind of kept that weight down for that 135 fight because I only dropped a few pounds. The other guy, he was probably 5'10", I think. Oh, okay. I'm like 5'6", so he probably dropped a good amount of weight to get to 35. Right. Most of these guys drop weight. I think that's why I was so shredded at 125. Yeah. Probably the best shape I've ever been on. Man, that was tough. Whew, that training, man.
Well, talk to me
about the Team Rock.
What was training like? What kind of training did
you do? Just, tons of sparring, flipping tires, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Did CrossFit kind of things. And
did you do sauna work?
No, we didn't do any sauna things. Lots of bikes and running and lots of sparring and hitting pads, kicking. Because kicking will get you some abs. It'll get you in shape. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, the hip flexors. For sure. So But you never really had a goal in mind with that as well, right?
Well, I mean, at that time I was like, oh, I want to be a pro fighter, you know, I want to go to the UFC, I want to do all this kind of stuff, you know. I think that was everybody's a lot of people's thing they wanted to do, but I think around that time I really liked that team around then. Around when I was that team right there I was training with, we had such a good crowd. A lot of hit guys were fighting, and that team we just had such a good group. So I'll definitely always remember that. That was fun.
Nice. You think you would have made it?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I always feel like I've been doubted at things in my life. I feel like I've always had people say, oh, wrestling, I don't know, Sam, you're kind of small for that, you know, did it for 4 years. Oh, you want to get in a cage? Are you sure about that? Like, you know, these guys are crazy. And then I knock out the first deal in the first fight, you know, and I stick it out for, I don't know, I guess 10 years or something.
Yeah.
Granted, I haven't trained in a couple years now. Well, I did train like, you know, 2 years ago for like a year, but I mean, it would be nice to do it a little more again for fun, but like training. But
do you think that's what drives you?
What?
To keep going is people doubting you?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the
like
things.
Like a little chip on your shoulder?
Yeah, yeah. Like, no, I can do this. You know, anything really. I mean, yeah, I just try to, if people think I'm not capable of something, I guess I just strive for it even more.
Yeah.
But even without that, I still feel I would strive for it.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah. You get me that impression.
Oh, thanks.
So you fought for all these years. What kind of happened in between that? Because you did that for 11 years.
Yeah, so I guess I started at 18. Well, I mean, I guess until I was 30, but at the same time, there was times where I was off for months or many, many months, so it kind of consolidates down the time spent, I guess. You know, so it might be 18 to 30, but it might be, or 18 to 30, 18 to 31, but it might be actually, 8 years.
Right.
You know, when you really consolidate it.
So what was going on in your life after that? What was that transition moment?
I tore my ACL.
Right.
And I was out for a year. I was on crutches. And I just started to go out, just listen to music and hang out with, found some more new friends to hang out with.
When you tore your ACL, did you think that that's the end? Like that's it?
I thought I was just gonna come back for it and start training again.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But at that time I must have been 23, and I was still at the sheriff's department. And yeah, so after I went to Weight Tech for about a year, and I got a job in engineering. And I've been in engineering for 9 years.
Okay, cool.
Now. And during that time, I just hang out with friends. I was going to a lot of music festivals. They were fun. I really like music and like the crowd and everything. I like the friends that I made through there. Yeah. But I still feel, I spent all that time throughout my 20s just hanging out, going on and off training. And
like without a goal or anything like in my mind.
Yeah, I didn't really have a goal.
Yeah.
I was just living life from 23 to, I don't know, 29. I guess you could say 28.
Yeah.
I was just hanging out, going on weekends and sometimes, and hanging out with friends, going to music festivals. I think the main thing, I love going to see all this music so much that I just love going to music festivals. And so I was always looking for the next music festival. That was really the only thing I was looking forward to in my life, I feel, besides, gaining experience at my job and everything. And trying to learn more knowledge there as an engineer.
And at this point, MMA was out the
well, I mean, I was still going to practice. I was still training, but on and off, I would, I'd be on for a while, I'd be off for a few months.
Sure.
But never, I don't think there might be a fight or might not, just it's kind of always up in the air. And then it just never happened. But at least I stayed in shape. It was still fun. It was still fun to stay in shape in a way to, I feel when I have a group like that to train with, it keeps me more motivated to stay in shape than just going to the gym by myself.
Yeah, it really does.
And, listening to your coach doing all that. That's why I do miss that. I feel I can stay in shape and healthy and everything a lot better when I'm actually kicking pads than lifting weights.
Right. Yeah.
I just feel better doing that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's definitely more of a challenge. What keeps your brain just going, going and going. So I mean, you got into acting.
Yeah.
Is that around that time?
So I was kind of dating this girl for like a year, and that didn't really work out too well, and it did hurt me a lot, and at that time. And so for that next year, I feel like I was pretty depressed.
Okay.
I didn't really know what I wanted to do and stuff. And then I had this thing just kind of come over me, like, I can't sit around. I got to go, and I feel like I'm not really doing anything with my life. I feel like I'm just. I think as you get older, maybe you start realizing that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I wanted to. It's like, how can I find out what I want to do?
Right.
I've definitely heard people say, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do with my life. I'm still figuring out. And I figured the best way to figure that out is just go do a bunch of things.
Yeah, that is.
So instead of just sitting around, do I like this? Do I like that? I was like, what do I do? I was like, well, what do I already like? What can I go do? So I would go to, I don't know, soccer meet. I haven't done played soccer in forever, so I would go to soccer meetups, play with some guys just for fun. I would go do this thing. I look for meetups. I look for these things to do. I'd be like, well, acting looks fun, I went, and so I was like, what's a way I can get into acting, or what's a way to see if I even like it? So I found Raleigh Little Theater online. And I actually also wanted to start volunteering at somewhere. Just my mom always told me it's good to volunteer, and it will help you see the world in a different way too, to help people or help things. And so I actually started volunteering at Saving Grace, animal adoption, dog adoption. For a couple years, and so I started volunteering there, and that definitely helped my outlook with helping things. Look, not focusing so much on myself and doing things. I was focused on helping the dogs, things like that. I had a thing to go look forward to on Sundays.
Yeah.
Every week I was like, I'm gonna go hang out with the dogs and everything. And then I saw they had volunteer opportunities at Raleigh Little Theater, and that was the way I was like, well, this is a way I can get on stage and see what acting's like. I don't have to be an actor, but I can look from behind the scenes and see what it's like. So I would sign up my name to go just raise the curtains or put the stage together, or I think I worked, I don't know, 6 or 7 plays, maybe.
Wow.
I can't remember the exact number, but something
like
helping
build the stages and stuff like that?
I think Little Shop of Horrors was my first one. No, that was the first one. I actually went there first to see a play, to see what it was like. Little Shop of Horrors was the first play I saw there. The first play I did, it might have been like a Jack and the Beanstalk thing, I don't know. But they have all these cool plays there, but I worked a bunch of those, and I was like, this is super fun. And I love the crowd of people, the theater kids and everything. I just vibed really well with them. And it was just so fun. I love the crowd.
Was it like the goofiness that they had?
Yeah, just goofiness, just carefree, having fun, silliness, just having fun on stage.
Yeah.
And it's just such fun vibes. So then I started taking acting lessons. I looked for an acting place, and that was the one that came up. So I was like, okay, I'll just pay for these classes.
The one in Raleigh Little Theater?
The one that you were at.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, well, actually, I did the Raleigh Little Theater first. They had some acting. They had like an acting class. I took that one first, and then
was it like an intro to acting?
It's like I think it was an intro to acting kind of thing.
Okay.
And then I found the studio that you used to work at. I don't know if you call it a studio.
Yeah.
So and I started taking classes there, and
that's interesting, man. You started the same way I started.
How?
I did my first acting class in Raleigh Little Theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
cool.
And then I went to Moonlight.
Yeah, it was fun. When I was volunteering there, I even would work the stage lights and stuff sometimes, or the sound.
Yeah.
Up in the stand. But it was just really fun. I love the crowd. I was like, man, I don't think I was like, maybe I could be on TV or something, or maybe I could be on the stage, I don't think I was, it's definitely going to happen or anything. And just kind of for fun, but still trying to find out what do I like, what do I want to do, what I want to be involved in, what do I want to look forward to every week besides a festival or going out on a weekend. What's something that I can strive, or what's a hobby I can get good at? So I started doing that. And then
what was talk to me about that intro to acting class.
Oh gosh, I can't even remember it, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
I can't remember. I think it might have been a circle or something. I don't even know.
Right.
It's hard to remember.
But obviously, like it made you want to take more classes, right?
Yeah, it was just fun. I like the vibe. It was fun to act. I think this must have been 2017, 2018, I'm thinking. 2017?
Maybe. Yeah, I think you're right.
2017 or 2018.
Yeah.
It's hard to, man, time's flying by in it. And then at the same time, I was like, man, well, you know, these musicals are cool too, because I've worked some musicals. I was like, I want to learn how to sing. So I started taking sing lessons weekly, and I've been doing that ever since.
Yeah.
So, now it's like an every other week thing.
Okay.
But yeah, so now I've been taking sing lessons every week since, I don't know, 2017 or every other week.
Yeah.
She's a great teacher, Mary, and she's very, very good. And she helped me sing. I sang on stage and stuff. And
Yeah.
That was fun.
So when you took my class, that was like the first acting class outside of an intro class, right?
Yeah.
So how was that experience for you?
That was amazing.
How was my class?
The best one ever. Let's do it again. You should start another acting class.
I'm thinking about it.
You should do it like your own little thing.
Yeah.
I think you do really good because you're hilarious, man. Oh my gosh, you're such a good actor, hilarious actor.
I thought you were gonna. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Winston.
Yeah.
I love the Winston character that you did. That was so funny.
Thank you. So when you were taking acting classes with me, like, what about? Did you like kind of gain some knowledge about like why you want to keep going with it? Like, did you find yourself more or something like that? Like studying these characters?
I think realizing how much I think with the acting, and also at the same time of all of this, I bought a guitar and started taking guitar lessons.
Yeah.
So I started taking guitar lessons in, I don't know, I guess 2018, something like that, 2019, around the same time. I was just like, I want to try all these things I like. I've always had the acoustic guitar, but I want to get electric, and I started taking lessons. I've been taking lessons weekly ever since then for that too.
Nice.
So, and I realized there's all these other fun things I can do that aren't like going out on the weekends or going to music festivals. I just learned there's more fun things to do, you know, that can strive me to be something. Like going to music festival is not going to grow me.
Right.
It's not going to improve my life or anything.
Unless you're working it, but that's a different story.
Yeah, but so these are now hobbies I can make a career out of, or I could just enjoy, or you know, just joy from it. And
that's cool, man. Yeah, I really like the dedication that you have.
Yeah, and also, I don't know if we should get into this. We can talk about it, but let me know when you want to get into it. We can edit this part out, I'm saying. But I do have OCD, diagnosed in 4th grade.
Oh.
I don't know when you want to get into that, or if I can get that to now is why I'm so dedicated. Or if we should get into it after we've covered everything.
Let's get into it, man.
Let's get into it?
Yeah,
okay.
Sure. So you have OCD?
Yeah, so I was diagnosed with OCD in 4th grade.
Interesting. I didn't know that, man.
Yeah, so I actually got held back in 6th grade because I would write on my letters over and over and over again, and it would tear holes in the paper. They had to get me a typewriter for class.
What?
Yeah.
A typewriter?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad. It was so close to turning into Tourette's.
Damn.
Yeah, but thankfully I didn't. But I still, and you know, I hear, you know, so many people say, oh, I got OCD because I got to keep my laundry folded or whatever, you know, I got to keep it clean. It's so much more than that, you know. I mean, I still have it pretty good. I just learned how to tame it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't take medication. I don't like how it makes me feel, or I tried therapy. When I was younger, I went through everything. You know, I went through all kinds of therapies, medications, everything, and just nothing was working. So I just kind of just manage it now. But you know, I'm constantly counting in my head all the time. You know, I have tics which change out. You know, I have to do things over and over. I might say a question over and over, or do things over and over. But even though it has its setbacks of having all these things and constantly thinking numbers and all these things, when I get into these things, I think that's why I'm so focused. It's because whenever my OCD gets really set on thing, like for example, if there's, I don't know, for example, let's say there's a piece of dust right here, right? And it's annoying me. I'll think about that for hours. So my mind is so whenever I get focused on these things, martial arts, whatever, I just get so sidetracked on it. It's like all I think about.
Yeah.
So I think it's helping me in a sense too, with everything.
Right.
And I think that's what it's passion, but it's also OCD going into it.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. But the fact that you go for years doing something too,
Yeah.
like the guitar and martial arts.
I don't know if you've ever seen it. Whenever I'm putting my gloves, I go 1, 2, 1, 2.
No, I've never seen it.
You never saw that? Well, like it's simple things like that. You know, even though right there I had to do it one more time just to make it 3. It's like it's always on my mind.
It's just like if you don't do a certain thing, then you just get like anxiety. Or something.
I feel like my head's gonna explode.
Yeah.
It's just. It's awful.
Right.
But I just try to manage it. I try to tame it. I try to do things lightly with it. When I was younger, I don't think I had the ability to tame it. So if I had a head twitch, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, things like that. Now I've learned, like maybe with my finger, I'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do it, but nobody notices that.
Yeah.
So I've learned how to kind of manage it in that sense, where I make it not as noticeable. I try to minimize it. What can my mind accept to do?
You learned that on your own?
Yeah, I guess so. Just kind of.
Yeah, just picking it.
Just trying things. Yeah.
Interesting, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That kind of explains a lot.
Things if I spend so long on a photo and so long on things when editing and things like that. I get so sidetracked on the video. It has. I sit there and edit for 5 hours. Just.
No, there's one thing.
Yeah, just got to get it done.
Right.
And I just always kind of ticks I have, and they keep changing out. I've had this one for years where I always have to turn back left. Everything has to end on my left. Like if I touch my arm on my right, then I have to touch out my left.
Yeah. Make it even.
Yeah, but even there, like it goes as deep as that. Like I touch this arm, but then this is my right hand. I just touched this arm, but I felt it on my right hand. So now I have to feel it again on my left hand. So it was like, but I just did it right there. I can't, it's simple. It's like, I don't think people would notice those things. But it's just, they keep switching out and stuff.
Right.
But yeah. I think that's why I get so sidetracked on things though.
It's like, you turned it into a superpower almost.
I guess.
That's what it feels like. Yeah. I feel like that kind of thing could take you far. Yeah, the way you did it or doing it.
I mean, in a way, when I practice scales on my guitar, I gotta do it 8 times.
Yeah.
I can't just do it when I do it 7. Oh, I gotta do it one more time, which is good. I guess it's more repetitions. Or
you getting your
things
reps
like
in.
that.
Right. Right. So, getting a little bit back into the acting.
Oh yeah.
So once you started taking my class and all that stuff, did you? Like obviously you wanted to take the classes, but you wanted to go a little bit further, right? You wanted to actually like perform.
Well, I was like, this is fun. Maybe I could try TV. Maybe I could try stage. So I started taking auditions. The first few kind of was a fail, but it was fun. It was nerve-wracking for sure.
Yeah.
But I think the last one, that Pride and Prejudice one that I got the role for, I went in just not caring. I went in with the attitude of like, I'm just gonna have fun. Okay, right. I think that's what helped me. I was relaxed. I just was myself, and I think that helped me get the role of being lead, just silly character, just having fun.
Right.
And man, what an experience that was.
Yeah.
I would love to do another play.
How was
in a few years now, but
yeah, how was that feeling when you got that role?
Oh, exciting. Yeah. I mean. Trying to learn how to do an English accent. That was tough. And I was talk so fast when I was doing my lines, how to learn how to slow down. But it was really fun. And again, the cast was so incredible. The director, everything was just so fun, and it was just exhilarating. And
I feel like you become a family when you do it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I felt like a family. Even with you, I'm staying with friends with you, and then there's another girl from the cast that I'm still in contact with for actually doing her wedding next year.
Oh,
her
right.
photos for her wedding.
Nice,
So
nice.
Still staying in contact with people, and it's just fun.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, nerve-wracking before you walk up, but when you walk up there, I feel you're in character and you just kind of forget about it. You're just having a good time.
Are you talking about on stage?
When you get on stage and you're acting.
Yeah.
And hearing the crowd laugh, that gets you going for sure.
Right.
Yeah. But what an unreal experience. I'd love to do another play one day.
Nice, dude.
I think it would be cool to sing too on stage. Still nervous about that, even though I've been doing it since, I don't know, 2018 now.
Yeah.
I'm still so nervous about it.
You haven't sung on stage? I thought you did.
I did it for recitals.
Okay, gotcha. Right.
Yeah, I had some recitals. I think I did empty chairs and empty tables from Les Mis. That was fun.
There you go.
That's one song I always wanted to do, so that was fun.
So do you feel like the stage is kind of like, it's a little bit nerve-wracking but fun still kind of thing?
I think the whole thing's fun. I think right before you walk on the stage, you feel kind of nervous, but as soon as you start, you're good.
Yeah.
I felt that's the only time I was nervous.
Right. Okay.
And then honestly, it was just myself with the English accent.
Right.
Just having a good time and saying the lines.
So, man, you got into acting, you did the play and all that stuff. What was the next part of your life in that?
Okay, so I guess, that play was a little bit after this part, but I wanted to record myself playing guitar. So I never even thought about photography in my life, about getting into it, taking pictures. I mean, it never even crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Like I had no ambition for it, nothing. It just not even crossed my mind. My focus was, hey, maybe I'll fight, maybe I'll be an actor, maybe I'll sing, maybe be a really good guitarist.
Right.
I didn't know. I was just doing all these different hobbies because they were fun. Even though I was doing 4 or 5 things at once, it was still fun to do.
Yeah.
And it kept me active in the community with volunteering, all these things. And I still had the dog place I was going to volunteer, just trying to get involved in so many things and just stay active and have things to do and grow in. That I can, if I grow in it now, then in 10, 20 years, something I can't look back and be like, man, I went to a lot of music festivals for 20 years. I don't want to say that, I did all these hobbies, and then I bought a camera, or I can't remember if I bought it or my parents got it for my birthday. That October of 2019.
Okay.
Or 2018? I think it was 2019.
Yeah.
And I started to record myself playing guitar. Did that a couple times, and I took some pictures on it, and I was like, man, this is actually kind of fun.
Oh, there you
And
go.
I think the first picture I took was of my roommate's dog, Zia. And then I was at the dog place, so I took taking pictures of all the dogs.
Right.
I'd bring my camera with me, or I'd shoot for them some pictures. And I was like, this is so fun, so I just did so many animal pictures and dog pictures.
Yeah.
And some street stuff. I was just kind of figuring out what I want to do with photography. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Kind of experimenting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that next February is when I had that play.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So, did you at that time when you were doing photography, just starting out and all that stuff? Obviously, your mindset is probably just doing it for fun, not thinking about anything.
No way. I didn't even have an Instagram. I think I even deleted my Facebook for like a couple years.
Right.
I didn't have social media. Didn't do any social media. I wasn't into it. I thought Instagram was kind of dumb in a sense. I was like, oh, it's just a waste of time. I understand now. It's like a portfolio, and I've connected with so many amazing people now.
Yeah.
Traveled with some amazing people. And made some amazing memories and connections. So I'm definitely happy for that.
Right. So what was the next stage in your life as far as like photography then? Because that took off, man.
Yeah. So.
And you have a natural ability to create something good.
Oh, thanks.
I think you have an eye for it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it kind of needs to be mentioned to understand everything else. So in March 2020, my brother passed away, and it's very, very very, very tough moment in my life, in my family's life.
Yeah.
Sorry. I went on a hike to get my mind off of my brother a little bit, just to clear my head, and I brought my camera with me, and I took some pictures. I was like, this is actually kind of fun. I've never really done much hiking or anything, and so I just started, and I liked taking pictures of landscape.
Yeah.
So I noticed that was fun, because I was trying to take pictures of random things for a year, and that then I started going on more hikes, and I was just going by myself. Honestly, I didn't really know anybody on Instagram. I didn't really meet up with anybody for, I'd say, a year probably.
Yeah. You were just doing that on your own.
Yeah, I would go to the NC Mountains a bunch. I saw a bunch of that. I'd go to South Carolina by myself, to the ocean. I just kind of went everywhere by myself.
Yeah.
And then I just kept going with it. And
that dedication kicked in.
yeah, I think I was kind of in that stage of, is it avoidance? Maybe.
Yeah, trying to take your mind off things.
The stages of grief.
Yeah,
I forgot exactly what the stages are.
Right.
But I feel like I was probably in that stage where I was just trying to keep myself distracted because I didn't want to think about it.
Right.
Part of me didn't want to think about it because I wanted to forget my brother or anything, you know. But like I also just was trying to just keep my mind on something else, because I was so depressed. And so I just kept doing that and driving places, whatever.
Can I ask you something? When you were going through that, you were just getting distracted everywhere else. Did your OCD kick in more during that time period?
Oh, my OCD, if I get stressed, my OCD goes on overdrive.
Okay.
For sure. Gotcha. Like it goes out of control. Just, even there, I mean, that was something simple. I scratched my ear, but I had to hit on my left side.
Right.
It's constant. It's simple. But, whenever I get stressed out, it's just, I still try to not show it so much, but it's definitely like, a lot more for sure.
So then when you were...
I'm sure my OCD was crazy then. It's hard to remember then. It's since 2020 now, but I'm sure it was pretty crazy.
So when you were traveling, doing photography, starting off doing that, did you feel like it was a sense of calmness to it?
Yeah. I think that's another reason I like photography so much is I kind of feel the distraction is so great in the moment when I'm doing portraits of someone, or I'm, I'm actually sitting there taking the pictures, taking the video. I feel like my OCD is just gone. Mostly.
Right.
It's still a little bit there, but I feel I could kind of forget it a little bit, and I'm focused on what's happening in front of me.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, I think it's kind of that sense of peace of just not being there so much. And it's like an escape from it.
Oh, interesting.
So it's really nice not to have it.
Yeah.
I feel when I get really in the moment with things, even when I was on the stage, I think maybe that's another reason I like these things so much is whenever I was on the stage acting, my OCD was just gone. I was in the moment acting. I wasn't thinking about it, But as soon as I got off stage,
Right.
But it seems like when I get in the moment on these things, it kind of pulls away for a little bit. And before it comes back.
Interesting.
So I think that's really nice.
I think that reminds me of when they say when people have Tourette's, they sing and the Tourette's kind of goes away.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Yeah. But that's cool, man, that you found photography to be kind of like a medicine. Almost.
Yeah, I think that's why another reason I like it so much.
Yeah.
Is those moments when I get to a peak and I'm taking photos and I'm just, or whatever, where I'm taking photos, just that sense of peace a little bit.
Yeah. And you have a good eye, man. Honestly.
I appreciate it. I think it's just I get so obsessed with it. Obsessive compulsive disorder, right? I'm just, it's pretty much all I think about these days. Besides, guitar, singing, and that. I still would like to go act, but I feel I'm so into photography now with everything I'm doing and traveling, doing things. It's hard to, do it all,
Right.
with the time, I only got so much time in a day.
Sure.
But I feel my number one thing, I'm always thinking about photography or video ideas in my head or photography ideas. I'm seeing images of whole scenes and whole things I want to create and things I can do.
I can see that, man. Which drives you to do better and better and better.
I wonder if another reason I've gotten better at video is I did go to the movies a lot with my dad when I was young. Like it's all the time, like so much.
Right.
So I wonder if seeing that so much maybe helped.
Probably.
I don't But even whenever I'm watching movies now, my obsessiveness, I'll be looking at the scene. Like sometimes I'll forget where I'm at in the movie because I'll be watching the scenes and how it's made and how maybe where it's shot at, how it's shot. You know, I get so focused on that. I'm like, I gotta rewind it. I'm like, oh wait, what'd they say?
Right.
Because I'm trying to learn at the same time.
Yeah.
Gotta start. I feel I can see movies in a different way now than I used to.
Yeah, that's true. Did you what kind of like training is it like all self-training, do you think, or did you learn from other people
for photography?
Yeah, from YouTube, all that stuff. Both.
You know, lots of YouTube. Watched so many YouTube videos, and I've taken up Bob. If there's someone that you like, take their course. Like I highly recommend it. Found about 3 or 4 people that I enjoyed, and I took their course. You know, I paid $70 or $100, whatever it was. And there's things in there that aren't on YouTube that I haven't found on YouTube. And also, if you like their work, you're going to learn how they did it. But of course, don't copy them exactly. But take pieces that you like of each person. I mean, this is how guitarists do it, how everything do it. Like how do people learn? Probably took things from Jimi Hendrix to mix into their own music, and then tips from this person, and to create their own style. So take these courses or these things you learn on YouTube, take it from a little bit from here, a little bit from here, find the thing that you like the most, and then take it and push it all together and make your own style. That's how I've created it. That's how I'm creating my own style. That's how I've created it.
And sometimes you have to start with copying somebody else in order to learn it, but then creating your own thing.
Right. Yeah. So I like how this person dodged and burned. I like the effect that this person does to create their photo. I like how this person makes the subject pop. I like how this person uses gradient filters, and then just push it all together. And then this is how much green I like. And then now what do I like? How much green do I like? How much blue do I like? You know, how do they do this? You know, and just take different parts and push it together. And that's how you create your own style. You can't just buy a preset and slap it on there. It doesn't work. I mean, most of the time it doesn't work. You can make some adjustments, but you can get by with them sometimes. But if you're gonna buy a preset, maybe I think presets are as good in a sense of looking at the preset and see what they did. Sometimes they'll even include photos with their presets, and you can apply it to it, but then look to see how they did it. Like, how did they get this look? They took down the clarity, they raised this, these things. So I think presets are good in the sense of taking it to learn. And then you can even take bits of the preset to apply with other things that you've made or other presets to create your own style also.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you like how they did the curves in their preset. You can take that and add it to your own style.
Right.
You know, if you're just slapping a preset, you're not creating your own style. You're not creating your own art.
Right.
You know, maybe taking pictures wise. But I think it is worth it by presets in the sense if you're going to try to learn from it.
Right.
Because I bought so many presets to learn from them. How do they do this? How do that? Same thing with courses, and I just applied it all together.
Right.
To create my own thing. And I'm still learning. I mean, I still have so much to learn.
Oh, sure.
You know, there's just so much out there.
You started in photography, right? So then you got into video, right?
Yeah, I mean, and also you've taught me a lot too with photography and video, so I thank you for that.
No problem.
You know, you've taught me a lot, and I've taken the knowledge that you've taught me. I feel like you're my first teacher, honestly, for photography. You were really before I took any courses, anything.
Right.
You taught me a lot. That short film thing we did, that. You know, working a couple of those events. Thing there, working some of those events and everything. It taught me a lot, and I think just you can sit there all day and watch so many YouTube videos and do all these presets, do all these things, but you guys just got to get out there to learn. Honestly, I think me just getting out there and just doing it, taking your camera, taking pictures, just doing it as much as you can. Practice makes better.
Yeah.
Try to be. But just get out there, you know. I always told myself, I feel after that first year, when I was just traveling around the East Coast, around North Carolina, South Carolina, I felt like I was getting decently better, you know, still not like that good, I don't think. But I always told myself, if I could just travel, I feel I could really take some good photos of these places. You know, I just need the chance to travel.
Yeah.
So well, I did take that first trip to Utah. Before that, I think 2 years earlier, I did take my first solo trip, and that was to LA. Not even before I forgot into photography or anything. And I just went to LA. I went to just to see what it's. That was a part of my growing journey also about learning hobbies and things I wanted to do. So another thing I did around that time when I was learning, seeing all this other stuff when I was first getting into it is, I think it was 2018. I took a trip to LA by myself and just wanted to see what it was like. And that was the first place I ever traveled to alone.
Oh, wow.
And I think I stayed at a couple hostels. I was like, this is wild. I'm just going to go for it. You know, this is crazy. I can't believe I'm doing this. I went to America's Got Talent. I thought that was fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got moved to the second row.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like,
that's
that's
dope.
cool. Met a couple of the judges and everything.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, that was fun. I just wanted to experience. I went to Warner Brothers Studios. I went to all those things and just on the beach. Just, it was fun. You know, it's like, man, this is actually kind of fun, like traveling, you know. I think that's when I first kind of realized I like traveling, but not as much as when I got into photography.
Right.
But I was like, it grew me a lot. When you go travel by yourself, you got to learn how to survive on your own. You got to learn all these things to do on your own.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have anybody to rely on. Everything's on you. Getting there, going around, finding everything you need.
Right.
You know, I think that was a big growing experience too. That week I was in LA.
Yeah. And you could go on your own at your own pace too.
Yeah. Yeah. But I highly recommend traveling by yourself somewhere. And just seeing what it's like. I think it's a huge growing experience for yourself.
Yeah.
You get more introspective of yourself and just what you want. You have lots of time to think.
Yeah. How you handle stress.
Yeah, and it's just a growing experience.
Yeah.
But then back to photography, I got into landscapes. So my brother passed away that March. And then in around July, August is when I got into doing landscapes. And then that next April, I went to like Zion, and that's when I got more into landscapes. That's when I started getting more into Instagram and landscapes, and I saw all the landscapes on Instagram, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I think that inspired me more. I want to do some landscapes and stuff. This looks fun, so I'm gonna go travel somewhere. So I went on another solo trip, and I went to Utah and Sedona, and or did I go to Sedona? No, not Sedona, sorry. I went to Utah. I went to Zion and Arches and did a full circle. I went all the way to Vegas, actually, and rented a car and drove all the way over to Utah and did a full loop.
Oh, damn.
Just by myself. I went and got a tripod, took photos. Super fun. I was like, man, this is incredible. Like, wow. I love this. This is...
Were you ever scared on that trip?
I think maybe the first time I ever hiked back at night, I thought it was kind of strange, but now I love it. I thought, hiking back, it's like 12 a.m. or whatever, 11 p.m. and nobody out there. You're hiking 3 miles back in the dark.
And you never worried about like bears or?
I guess I never really thought about it, but I mean, I don't think there's bears in Zions.
Well, not Zion.
Maybe, I don't know. If there is, tell me. I don't know. I don't think there is. Yeah.
I bet that's beautiful too, like seeing the skylight, because you're in the desert.
Oh, I love the desert. It's the sunsets there are just incredible.
The stars and shit.
Oh man, so many stars. I've never seen so many stars in my life. Oh my gosh, out here being around the city and everything, you just don't see it like that. When you go out west is on another level.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Those landscapes I love going out there.
I mean the best stars that I've seen is when I went to the Amazon.
Oh yeah.
And man, that was
crazy.
Just
you see the Milky Way.
Yeah.
So good.
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's so dark out there. And when I also took some Milky Way shots when I was out there and learned how to do that a little bit, and that was fun. I was still kind of learning a little bit of landscape, but I wasn't even thinking about what I do now. I was just thinking about landscapes and using me as a subject sometimes. And I came back, and then I think that fall beforehand, I started talking to more people, or maybe like January, I can't remember when, but I started talking to more people on Instagram, and I met someone from Finland, this girl Essie, that we talked for a little bit on Instagram, and decided to meet up in Iceland. And I was like, okay, I've never just met up with some random person before, like, I think that might have been the first. I don't know if that's the first person I met up with. I think it might have been.
I think so.
From Instagram.
I think so.
And it was the first time we met was in Iceland at the airport.
That's wild.
So I was just like, let's go. Let's do it. I love Iceland. I'd love to go to Iceland. I was like, why not? So we went to Iceland for, I don't know, 2 weeks or something, and that was incredible. It just made me love landscapes even more. And took portraits of her and me and out there. And I was like, well, it's kind of fun to do these portraits too in landscapes.
Right.
So I started doing that.
Started incorporating portraits into
more
your landscape.
like landscape portrait kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And taking inspiration from other people online and still obsessed with photo editing, doing everything. And
that's dope, man. You're a waterfall guy, right? Are you? You like waterfalls?
I like it all, honestly. I love waterfalls. Yeah, I love beach. I love mountains. I love waterfall. I love it all.
Right.
I just want to see everything.
Because have you done long form, long exposure?
Yeah, I've done some long exposure. Yeah, for sure. I used to do a lot. I haven't done them in a while, but I used to do a lot of long exposure waterfall stuff in the beginning when I was first getting into landscapes. I do less landscapes. I mean, I do landscapes, but like, I don't feel like it's the main subject, or it might be kind of. It depends.
I think the way you did it is smart because you start with landscape. It's like that's your focal point. That's your composition, and then you bring in a portrait. A person.
And sometimes now it's portrait, or it's like both, or it's like more accentuating landscape. It just depends on the vibe and what I want. You know? Or I'll use a person to show the scale of the landscape or a scale of the building.
Yeah. So when you started incorporating people into your photos, did you feel like, oh, I'm growing?
I felt like I was, especially what I would do is every 6 months or a year, I would go back to an old photo and edit it again, and I can see the difference.
Right.
And I'm like, man, why was I editing like that? So I think going back and editing an old photo that you edited a year or two ago, you can totally see the difference.
Yeah.
Of how you've progressed.
Right.
For sure. Did I oversaturate it? Did I do this? Did I dodge and burn too much? Things I've probably edited the same photo 5 times, to see the difference.
Right. And so when you got into portraits, how was the growth there for you? Because it just started as like them posing, right?
Just stand. Honestly, just me or someone else standing on the landscape.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about posing or modeling. Really, I'm just gonna stand here in this landscape.
Did you think about themes?
No themes. No. It was just, this is a cool landscape. I'm gonna take a picture of me at this landscape.
Yeah.
It was cool, but I don't know. I felt like I needed more.
Yeah. And you were taking pictures of your car too, your Mazda.
Yeah, I was taking pictures of my car. I got the Mazda deal. So I did the Mazda thing. I don't know, 4 or 5 times.
Wait, hold on. So
I think I think a year. Let's see. Maybe it was a year or less than a year. It was. I think it was maybe 6 months into getting into landscape photography. I got reached out by a company that works on Mazda to hire me on, where they sent me a car. I think you came with me to shoot that, actually.
Yeah.
They sent me a car to shoot.
We got pulled over.
Let's
You
got pulled over. Wait, was it me? I don't know.
No, it wasn't you. You're safe.
Well, this is a long time ago. This is like 2020, 21. So it's good. But I was like, oh man, this is cool. So they sent me a car to shoot, and I was surprised. I was only doing landscapes for like 6 months.
I mean, you were incorporating your car with it.
Well, I was like, what if I take pictures of my car and tag Mazda? I think maybe that's what happened.
It is what happened.
I had the Mazda Miata, which I don't have anymore. But not enough space.
But those were dope photos, man.
Yeah, thanks. But then after that, they brought me on a couple more times.
Yeah.
They brought me to Lake Tahoe, where we did like a snowboarding trip.
Yeah,
and we did a video there. And there was a few other times they sent me a car where when I needed to go somewhere, I would reach out saying, hey, I'm going to this place. I'd like to make a video for you or something. And they would leave a car at the airport for me.
That's dope.
And I would usually ask for SUV. How
did you feel about that, like getting that gig?
Man, I think it helped me a lot.
Yeah.
It's definitely great in the portfolio.
Right.
For sure. And I was so surprised. I didn't think that was going to happen. Especially, think about this, guys. I mean, I had 1,000 followers, maybe less. and I got a Mazda deal. So I'm not saying that like, look at me. It's more of a, you don't need 50,000 followers to land good deals.
Right. It's about the work.
It's about the work, and I guess being in the right place at the right time, or someone seeing you, or reaching out, doing things. I mean, all that took was me taking the initiative of tagging Mazda.
Yeah.
I think that's had to be the way they found me.
Yeah.
Or he found me. But just don't think that just because you have a couple followers, you can't land good deals. Just take the chance. If you don't take the chance, then it's always a no.
Right.
I've even had people tell me, oh, you can't do this because they're too big of a brand, or you can't do this because of this, so that. I can't, or I mean I can. Yeah. You just gotta try. Right. And if they say no, cool. It is what it is. Plan to get rejected. It happens. And just accept it. It's gonna happen. It's just keep trying. Keep going for it. Don't give it up. Don't give up just because one brand doesn't want to work with you.
Yeah.
Right. Or if they don't want to give you what you deserve, for your, I'm gonna say deserve. Well, maybe if you want paid work, don't give in just to give in, because they don't want, find a brand that will work with you.
Yeah.
I mean, now in the beginning you might have to do a little bit of free work to build your portfolio, which is understandable, which I've done too. But also you can even take items you already have that you own. Maybe you own a jacket of the house that you don't even work for that brand, but take photos of that to show what you can do. And you can put that on your website, and then when brands find your website, they can see how you do your photos. So now you have a portfolio. So you don't need a brand to build a portfolio.
Right.
Use items you already have, that you already own, to build out. You can build the portfolio that way also. Right. Yeah. So if I want to have a Patagonia jacket, go take pictures of it and put it on our website. If the brand sees it, this is how I take my photos. This is how I do product photos. And you'll have your portfolio right there.
Right. And then you were consistently taking photos of your car. And
a few times,
yeah. So it's not just like a one-time thing.
No, I mean I probably did maybe like 5 posts of it.
Yeah. I feel like it was more.
4, maybe I can't remember. I have to look back on my page.
Maybe it just seems that way.
I don't know. I was thinking. I was just trying different things. I didn't want to know. I was doing the car, the landscapes and things, and trying to get creative with it, and did that, and I think that helped me out with some other brands and things. Yeah.
Did you feel like you were making something out of nothing kind of thing?
What do you mean?
When you got that deal, when the Mazda deal?
I was honestly flabbergasted.
Let me rephrase that. So did you feel like, oh shit, I can make this into a career when you got that deal?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah. And even then, when I first got into photography, and I told some people, hey, I think I might want to make photography a job, I still got doubts. Oh man, there's so many photographers out there. How are you gonna make it? It's oversaturated. It's doing this. Okay, and if I sit on my butt and don't do it, then it's definitely gonna be a no. It's definitely gonna be it's never gonna happen. But if you try, and also if you love it and you're having a good time, who cares? Who cares if you make it or not make it if you're having a good time? And I've heard this from so many people too, is just stay at it. Eventually something's going to happen. Yeah. It might take some people. I've seen people where it takes off right away. I've seen people where it takes a long time. But eventually it seems to always happen. It seems to take off. Just keep trying, keep studying, keep pushing at it.
Yeah. Keep evolving.
Keep evolving. Keep trying to see how you can make yourself better. And keep having fun. Don't lose the fun of it.
That's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. And then, you just started traveling from there, right?
Yeah. So,
you went all over the place, huh?
Yeah.
Dude, you road trip to Italy? That's crazy.
Yeah, so another on Lexi, she met on Instagram, chatted a few times. We're actually we're like, let's go plan a trip somewhere. We never met in person. Same thing as with Iceland, so I was like, yeah, let's do it. And we went to... We were planning to go to Costa Rica, I think it was. Might be wrong. I think it was Costa Rica.
Right. Yeah.
But we were looking at some things, and weirded out about some things. We weren't sure what we wanted to do. And we last minute, we're like, oh, how about Italy? It's February, but who cares? Off tour season. And we're like, okay, let's do Italy. So met up with her in Italy for the first time.
Yeah.
And went there for a 2-week trip. It's fun.
Yeah.
Got along and everything.
You didn't have any hard times there? Any popped tires or ran out of gas? Or
No, I don't think we had any
got
problems.
lost?
No, it was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Just the tolls are expensive.
Oh, yeah.
But we landed in Florence? Not Florence. Was it Florence? No, it's more north of Florence. I don't know. It's somewhere up there. But went up to there, actually to Switzerland, and then into Italy. And then to Germany, and then came down back to Italy through the Dolomites to Venice, down to Tuscany, and then back up and flew away. So we kind of did the whole circle.
Yeah.
But man, Italy, seeing that, and we hiked through the snow to the top of this crazy mountain to do some photos. We were the only ones out there, and then our feet were frozen. We actually ended up taking our gloves and putting them on our feet.
Damn.
Inside our shoes because they were so cold.
That's
and
wild.
hiked back in the snow for 2 hours. Yeah, that was a crazy
Do
time.
you get tired on those trips?
I feel by the 13th day, I'm kind of done a little bit. I'm worn out. The 13th day, I'm just like, oh man, I'm ready to.
Because I feel like you're the type of traveler that just goes.
Oh, I'm trying to get morning, sunset, morning. I kind of incorporate sunrises sometimes. It depends also if some places are better for sunrises, some places are better for sunset. So that depends also.
Yeah.
If it's not a good sunset spot, and I got to get up for sunrise, you know. But I feel I'm go.
Yeah.
But by the 13th day, worn out for sure. 13th, 14th day, you kind of want to get home.
Right.
But I feel if you're living on the road or something, though, it might not be as much of that because you're not go all the time.
Yeah. That's
But with only being able to travel so much a year, you know, I gotta get it in, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm also having a fun time doing it. It's not, oh, I'm waking up, oh, I gotta do this. I'm actually having a fun time doing it. And even though I hate getting up sometimes for sunrise, when I get out to that spot and I see it for sunrise, I'm like, oh man, I'm so glad I woke up. And you're the only one out there. It's peaceful. It's quiet. Sometimes even if I'm by myself out there, it's just, I don't know, just you know, back to being alone again. Just that serenity, peacefulness, and up before everyone else, and the birds, and just beautiful sunsets. Amazing.
They say that one of the things that you could do in order not to get dementia is to go out there and see scenic views.
Oh wow,
and stuff like that.
Well, I'm a traveler.
So I don't think you have to worry about that. But that's cool, man. How many countries have you been to so far? Iceland, Italy.
So I went to Iceland, Italy, Germany, Switzerland, Canada. I just got back from Canada a couple weeks ago. What was it? I think there was might have been one more. And then a ton of U.S. now.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the U.S. and I want to keep going to more places, but I want to travel more outside the country. I want to keep traveling more outside the country. I've just seen most of the U.S. now. I feel the only places I haven't seen that I want to see is Yellowstone and Grand Tetons. That's how you say it. There's a Salt Flats in Utah I haven't seen yet. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, second biggest in the world, I think.
Oh wow. There's this other place I want to see. It's like a temple, some temple thing in Utah. It's like these 3 rocks. I can't remember the name. Sun and Moon Temple. I can't remember the name of it.
But that's cool, man.
There's a few other places I want to see in the U.S., but I've been all down the East Coast, all down the West and Pacific Northwest, and South. I've been kind of pretty much everywhere now, and you know, this is since 2021.
Dope.
So I feel I've done in 3 years. I feel I've done 6 years worth of stuff.
You did, dude. You move fast.
And I think I went last year. I went to Arizona. I don't know, 4 times.
Right. Yeah, you move fast,
4
bro.
or 5 times. And yeah.
You have some fast ass growth.
Thanks. I think it's just because I'm just
Get
at
that
it.
fat ass growth. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just at it. But then Italy. After Italy, oh, that's right. That's how. So I do want to get into what I'm doing now. How I'm got into the stuff I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Okay. So now what I found my love is I kind of like more the fine art side. don't want to come off the wrong way when I say I think it's more artsy. Because there's some beautiful landscape photos out there and landscape photographers. I don't want to come off the wrong way as that. But I just like how the artsiness is of dresses. I love the flow of it. I feel like it adds so much to a photo. And even you can do themes, you can do so many things in these incredible landscapes or up close portraits. I feel like you can do so much with it.
Yeah.
And also I meet so many people. I meet up with so many people that love wearing these dresses and love to sync up for portraits. It gets me, because if I'm doing landscapes, I don't feel I have the chance. You can, but I feel like I have more of a chance to meet up with people when I'm taking doing portraits.
Right.
And I met up with so many people now, and it's so fun, and they're all so wonderful. And I've loved the crowd of friends I've made through it all.
Yeah.
But I actually bought a dress from a company.
How did you know what size to get?
So the first dress I bought was from a company called Lynn & Naive. Shout out to Lynn & Naive, they're great. Lexi, who I went to Italy with, I asked her what her size was, and I was like, do you want to wear this dress? I kind of want to draw some dress photos. Actually, no. That summer before, my friend Courtney, we actually did some dress photos.
Okay.
I remember it now. It was a little bit before that. That summer, my friend Courtney, she actually had a dress with her, and we did some dress and cloak photos and stuff, because I saw some cloak photos online. I thought that was cool. That's right. That summer before Italy is when I got into that. So I bought the...
Yeah, you got into cloaks.
Was that before the dress thing?
The
cloaks?
It
was. Yeah, I bought a cloak. It came from Scotland, maybe? I think it was from Scotland.
Legit cloak.
Yeah, it was vegan wool. But anyways, that's right. Let me bring it back a little bit.
Okay.
Oh man, so I went to California with my friend Kenny, and we kind of went up and down, stayed in the car the whole time to save money. We just crashed in the car, bought sleeping bags, whatever. I think we got one Airbnb the whole 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we just saved money. We just got plane ticket and car.
Yeah.
And so saved so much money. And the car was from Mazda, so all I had to do was buy a plane ticket.
Yeah, that's dope.
So we got an SUV and whatever. And we stayed in the car, and we met up with my friend Courtney for the first time, who I've met up with so many times now. She's great, great to do photos with. But and I actually brought the cloak with me to do some photos. And I remember we got to Yosemite, and I was like, oh no, I left my cloak back at the parking stop. And they were like, what? And she was so confused, because why does he have a cloak with him? Because at the time, like, most people were like, who's bringing a cloak with him to Yosemite, you know?
Yeah.
I forgot that cloak I bought I kept it in a trash bag because it was kind of wet. I think I got dirty or something. I threw it in the trash can.
Oh no.
So me and Kenny drove like an hour and a half back and with no service, trying to find this road back to the rest stop. That's just these 2 bathrooms in the middle of nowhere. And we dug in there, and it was still there. Like we dropped off in the morning. We got back at night. We came back at night, and it was still there. So we got the cloak back on the trash bag. It was so silly. But yeah, we did some cloak photos on the trip and stuff. That was fun. And she ended up coming to North Carolina that summer and did some dress photos. And I was like, this is fun, you know? She had a dress with her, I think. And then that fall, Courtney and me met up again in the Pacific Northwest. She had a dress. We did some more dress photos.
Nice.
That's when I started really falling in love with dresses and that kind of vibe.
Right.
And then I reached out, or I bought a dress from Lynn & Naive and got Lexi's size and took some photos on that. And they liked what I did, so we started. So now I kind of work with them and shooting some of their dresses.
Nice.
When their lines come out and things. Yeah. And that's getting those dresses. I've been able to meet up with so many more models that are also photographers, and just models and stuff, and make new friends with them. And they'll already have dresses, or I'll have one of the dresses, and we'll shoot it in these cool landscapes or whatever. And yeah.
That's dope, man.
And
I could tell that you're really enjoying that.
Yeah, it's so fun. And I think that I think the dresses started turning more to fantasy. So I wanted another cloak. But I felt like the one I had was kind of heavy. and I wanted more colors and stuff. So I reached out to a company. It's a great company, Fallon Ferris. It's a great company. But I reached out to work with them. They sent me some cloaks to shoot, and I shot some of those and stuff. It's fun. I mixed it in with the dresses, so I did like dresses with the cloaks. It just I felt like it added so much to the wind. Everything was so cool. And I went to work one of their events, Weekend Warrior. Go check it out. Weekend Warrior Experience.
That's
actually in a couple weeks.
A Renaissance thing, right?
Yeah. Kind of. It's like it's kind of like a LARP, but it's more. It's kind of more than that, you know. Okay. I don't know. There's just a lot more to it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to explain it to people.
Yeah, you're fine. More realistic, more hundreds of people, really like role play, really into it.
Yeah.
It's more like realistic, I'd say.
Right.
But it's super fun. And once I went to that, and I love the crowd of people there. Everybody's so nice and friendly. Everybody's just so welcoming. And
especially the fact that you can like, they're dressed up, man. And it's
I loved it.
And the settings and all that
and
stuff.
taking photos of everyone dressed up. Just so fun. It made me, I'm taking pictures of dressed in clothes. Now I'm taking pictures of people in armor. Like, this is a dream, you know. I already love Lord of the Rings and everything. So I didn't even know this was a thing, you know. I was the fantasy aspect, you know, I didn't even know that was a thing when I first got into photography, that people were doing fantasy photos.
Right.
You know, until I started seeing a bunch of accounts, you know, a bunch of Instagram accounts that did fantasy content.
And to explain it to the people a little bit, it's like the difference between taking a picture of someone who's dressed like a normal casual wear and someone taking a picture of somebody who's like fancy suit with the hat and the cane. It's that kind of a difference.
Maybe they're wearing armor, maybe they're wearing a cape or cloak, maybe they're acting as a princess, maybe they're being an elf, maybe they're being...
But it adds that element to it.
Yeah, it adds an element.
Nice.
You know, and then you take that to these incredible landscapes. Now, you know, and now you've got this flowy cloak and this crazy landscape, and I just felt like that added more than just standing there. You know, and you can do some cool posing, and especially all these models and everybody I meet up with are so good at posing, and so thanks to them too. You know, all of them, they're so wonderful. Help. You know, it definitely helps. I met up with two fantasy creators I had really admired, Courtney and Heather. That's the Fox and the Ivy and Fox and the Phils. Check them out. And we met up in actually North Carolina and did a hike and did some photos and some fantasy photos. That was my first time wearing armor. They had some armor and a cape and stuff, and I wore some chainmail. And Courtney did some archery and archery. Our archer.
That stuff's got to be heavy carrying up.
Oh my gosh! Well, up that mountain, we were kind of regretting it. We were like, should we go back? Oh man, we had a big blue bag about this big with all the armor in it. Half of it we didn't even use. And we had swords and everything, and it's so funny seeing people's expressions when you bring all this stuff. It is hilarious. But I feel most of the time people are like, "Oh, that's super cool." And sometimes you get some weird looks, like, "What are they doing?" But or comments. But most people are interested, or especially when people are doing dresses, you have like little children come up and like, "Oh my gosh, can I get a picture with you?" and stuff. I love it. They think they're a princess. Yeah, they think they're princesses. It's so cute. I met up with them, and we had a wonderful time doing photos, and met up again with them again in Pennsylvania, and did some more photos. And then we planned a trip to Ireland.
All right.
And so I went to Ireland early this year, and I was like, this is gonna be a great place to do some fantasy stuff. We get castles, all this cool stuff. And so we bought some extravagant dresses there. I decided, I saw there's this abbey in an abbey. An abbey is, I believe it's where the like priests and everything were outside the castle.
Okay.
I believe that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but. There was like an abandoned abbey I really wanted to shoot at. And I had this cool idea of bringing a sword and all this armor and the cloak and doing some cool like whooshy photos in it. And so I bought this whole armor set. Like I bought the chest, the plates, everything, so heavy. And I toted that whole thing to Ireland.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, so I had my suitcase of all my stuff. I had another suitcase with all the armor in it, and it's metal. You know, so I mean, I probably paid $600 just to transfer that stuff there and back. I really wanted the photo. I felt it was worth it. I'm probably never doing that. I'm never doing that again, though. No way, too much. Because even carrying that stuff.
Yeah.
Because even I know I'm kind of going back and forth.
You're good.
But that December before, I actually before I got all the armor, I just had the legs. But I went to Horseshoe Bend in Arizona, and I brought the legs, the chainmail, the gloves, the sword, the cape, and I put it in my suitcase, and I dragged it. I went with Courtney, and I dragged it through the dirt and through the rocks at Horseshoe Bend through the desert, off the sidewalk, down over all these huge rocks, pulling it up to the edge. We both changed out. I changed out into all the armor and did photos at Horseshoe Bend at the end. Like, nobody else is going to do this. So I felt like it would just be cool, you know, really adding that fantasy aspect and stuff. But some of these photos, to get them they're pretty hard to get if you're pulling all the armor and stuff through.
You need a wheelbarrow.
Oh, man. It was tough. I've tore up my wheels. My wheels now squeak forever.
Yeah, right.
They broke for sure. But then I brought I got a golf bag that held the sword and everything else in it, and I toted that out to the Abbey over the sidewalk, and changed out all of that there and everything, and did photos. So I thought they turned out great.
Yeah,
I love them. They're wonderful. I feel like.
Absolutely.
But
yeah, you do some great work, man.
I really try to put a lot of effort into it.
I was wondering how you got into the whole armor stuff and everything like that. But.
Yeah, I think working the Fail and Fair event is what got me into even doing more fantasy stuff.
Right.
And I like doing dresses. That was fun. And I love what a lot of accounts I follow now, what they do, and what Courtney and Heather did or do, and taking inspiration from all these different people of the dresses, and then went more into fantasy after I went to Fail and Fair, and adding it, and it just added so much, and it's so fun, and so did that, and
Now you're here.
Now I'm here. Well, I just went to Canada too.
You just went to Canada. How was Canada?
Oh man,
that was the first time.
My friend Courtney again.
Yeah, that's the first time.
Do some dress photos. Right?
Huh? First time you're doing something in Canada?
Oh yeah, that's my first time in Canada. Man, those
I thought that was something else.
Man, those mountains are crazy.
Yeah.
For me, not for Courtney. She flew up those mountains. She was down a breath. A beast of a hiker.
Did you bring your armor?
No way. That's still like in a box at the house. That's going out for special occasions. That is so much to do. I mean, I did it for that one thing. It was cool. I'll probably wear it again for something, but man, like that was a lot. I probably won't ever bring another plane again unless there's something really extravagant I want to do.
Right. But Canada was cool.
Oh yes, those hikes were crazy. We were hiking 6 miles a day probably, and did some 10-mile hikes.
Damn. And you got to get some good shoes for that, man.
Yeah, I just got some new ones right before.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, my legs were done. I was limping the last day. Butt was hurting.
How long were you out there for?
I guess a week.
Oh wow.
Just a week. Yeah, I usually do 2-week trips when I usually do trips.
Was it all like mountain stuff, or did you go into the city?
We went to the city. We was like, we're not going to go back to the city, but somehow we ended up back in the city every day. We were to go to the grocery store or grab something or do things like that.
Yeah.
It did rain like a day and a half, so we weren't able to really do anything. And we weren't able to backpack like we were planning on doing because it got so cold and so rainy, and we didn't want to hike through that, which I really want to backpack. I still haven't done it yet. I've done so much hiking.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be my first backpacking trip, which that was a crazy hike. We were going to do, it might be Pharaoh's Peak or Egyptian Lake is the lake, and then I think it might be Pharaoh's Peak or something, but I don't know. Looking at it, it looked like a pretty crazy hike, so that would have been a crazy backpacking experience.
Hell yeah.
But I hope to do that one day. I think that's one of the next goals is to do try some backpacking out.
Right.
And
some wild camping. Wild camping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in Canada, in those national parks, they kind of give you like designated spots.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
When you get like to the lake that you're hiking to.
Yeah.
I believe you have designated spots you sleep at.
Okay, gotcha.
Because you do have to reserve. When you go backpacking, you do have to reserve it. You can't just like go out there.
Right.
Like in these national parks.
Right. Gotcha. Well, cool, man. Damn. That's a hell of a story.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it, man. I appreciate you
for sure.
sharing your story and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
I really think I'm really excited to see like what's gonna be the next like thing that you do. You know what I mean? So you're still riding the wave, you know?
Yeah, so the next thing, I really do want to do more YouTube. I want to do more, I really want to get into more short film things, or travel short film things. I have so much footage
like
I could
behind
make
the scenes
things.
kind of thing?
I could add some behind the scenes, but more just, inspirational video. Like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do.
Okay.
Do in a sense of, I mean, maybe I could do both, but do I want more videos to be more calm? Do I want them to be more travel and upbeat? But I want to have a message behind them. I want to maybe even mention things about my life or things that help me grow, or how to help other people grow through a message, but through in a cinematic way. I hate to say the word cinematic, but you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I want to show that, you know, anybody can. You can if I can travel, you can travel. You just gotta put your mind to it. I mean, I don't do anything when I'm home. This is why I'm able to travel. You got to make some sacrifices. I don't go out to do anything. I don't spend money on anything. I'll hang out with friends, you know, at their house or something. I don't go out to bars. I don't do anything. I mean, I play my guitar, I do singing, whatever, and I edit my photos. I mean, I'll go parks. I'll go walk around and do things. I don't do anything.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I don't try to spend money when I'm home.
Right.
All my money. Not all my money, but you know, all my free money that I can save to use for things, I put towards plane ticket and car rental if I need it, or traveling. Because I'm hoping eventually that will turn into something bigger, which it's slowly progressing.
Yeah.
And I'm just keep going at. I'm just keeping going at it.
Yeah, you're just gonna keep trying new things and seeing where it takes you.
Yeah, I guess my next goal would be definitely some YouTube short film things. I've actually been thinking about making, also on the side, I've been thinking about making a cinematic kind of way of showing off my OCD and struggling with it.
Okay.
But how it's also a good thing for me. Like we've talked about.
Yeah.
How it might be a struggle and the things I struggle with, and how it's also been good for me.
Yeah.
And how photography has helped it. Things like that. But I might show that off in a cool way. So that's been an idea I've had in the back of my mind.
I like that. You could, when you said that, like, when people say certain things, I get images and like, this is how you could do it. Maybe like the thing you have to record your camera, like that you wear around your neck or something.
Oh yeah.
And like doing something like POV style
that
shows off some OCD stuff.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. Right? I've had like ideas of like mumbling thoughts.
Yeah.
But like it's a voiceover.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. Just I don't know. I have all these ideas in my head. I feel like I have all these ideas in my head. I still want to try out these little scene things, ideas. Even for reels, I want to do more like scenes.
Yeah.
I feel that with what I've been doing in my video, it's been more portrait videos.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what I mean by that. More think of someone doing portraits, but it's a video.
Right.
You know, it's someone kind of modeling for the camera, walking around, flowing the dress. But I want to start creating more of a story throughout the reels. Right. Even if it's 15 seconds, 20 seconds, a minute, whatever. I want to create more stories with the dresses or with the sword I have. Like this company's the Knight's Vault. They sent me a sword, and I actually want to create a story with that soon. I've had this really cool idea in my head. I might ask you to help. I might ask you to help me with it. I have an idea that I think would be pretty cool.
That'd be dope. If you need an actor, let me know.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be dope, man.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to think of different ideas, and I'm reaching out to more brands, working with more brands now, and
you feel comfortable with brands now, like contacting brands?
I feel definitely. I have the courage and know my worth to stand up for myself if the brand doesn't want to pay. You know, you gotta know your worth. You gotta know your worth. You can only do free work for so long. So long.
I mean,
in the beginning, if you need to do a couple things, you can. But know your worth. There's so many people, even bigger. You know, so many people that do free work. But if you want good content and you gotta pay for what you get, right?
Yeah.
And
pay your worth.
I don't want to say that sounds conceited now.
No, it doesn't sound conceited. I mean, it makes sense. It is a business. They're a brand. They're a business.
Yeah, you know, and they're going to make a lot of money off these things.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Now, if there are times where I think it's okay to do free, if there's something you really want or need, and you don't mind trading for it, or you feel like it's helping you grow in some way.
Yeah.
Or if there's a brand you like you really like working with them, and you feel it's helping you out and it's helping you with other brands. You know, I think a lot of these some of these trades that I've done in the past have helped me land other paid gigs.
Yeah.
Because I've been able to use that work to show what I can do for other work.
Right.
So I don't mind doing stuff for them, and I'm still able to get things to shoot for and work with my models and meet new people. So it kind of helps in a sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's just about picking your battles.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah. You got to figure out, is it okay? Am I okay with doing this? Or now this one, do I really need, like if a brand reached out to me and I really don't need that product, and definitely I'll ask for pay.
Yeah. It's just picking the battles and seeing where it goes from there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited about where you're gonna go, about the next stages of your life. I wonder if when you went from landscape to portrait to fantasy, what's after fantasy? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it just keeps evolving, right?
It just keeps evolving. So like,
that's what I want to talk about. So I want to get into, as I travel, because I do want to do some more solo trips, or if someone wants to come along, then that's cool too. I would love it if they're down for it. But I would love to get into more cultures. So do more culture photography and culture videos.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Go to another country and take videos of the culture and things going on, and create that in a nice travel kind of film kind of way. And
that'll help out your films.
Yeah, and also I want to go to Africa and take pictures and videos of the animals there, do like safaris and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think I want to do Africa, a lot of Southeast Asia, and Portugal, Madeira. I can never say that word. But I want to go to Portugal. That place looks so beautiful.
Right.
That's another thing that I actually took on during this time was the FPV drone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I started that a couple years too.
Nice.
So I've done a lot of video on that, and I would love to take it to those mountains to fly there. They just look incredible. Yeah. I need a longer range drone though, but I love the FPV, and I love mixing the FPV shots with. So when I'm doing the videos of the portraits, of videos of the people in the landscape, and then mixing that with the FPV shots and creating transitions with those, everything, I love it. Yeah. I love doing transitions, but I'm trying to use transitions when they're needed. Right. And instead of transition, in the videos. When does a transition make sense?
That's a good thing to know.
The whole video doesn't have to be a transition. It's cool sometimes to do, but I'm trying to. When does a transition make sense in this scene? When does it make sense? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that absolutely. I mean, all the things that you've learned, you're just putting it all together. Yeah. Right? I feel like we talked about not just incorporating wide-angle lenses, but tight shots as well. That just mixes it in very nicely. And
I actually just bought a 24-70. I've been using a 35 millimeter for the past 2 years. That's nothing else. Maybe I use a 16-35 if I want to get a big landscape, but all my portraits, all my photos are pretty much at 35. Sometimes 50.
Yeah. But yeah, when you start incorporating all those things, the different lenses, focal lengths.
So I guess that's my primary focus with shooting wise now, is telling a story with the photos. This past year and a half, I feel it's more, I'm going to take photos of the person in a dress at a landscape. They know, a lot of them know how to model and stuff, so they're model. Yeah. But it's them modeling at the landscape. Right. It's cool. I love it. But how can I tell a story at this landscape? So now I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna get a wide shot picture of them at this landscape. I'm gonna get a close up of them posing, maybe then a close up of their eyes, and then maybe a close up of the trees, maybe a close up of the castle, and then maybe do a 3 or 4 split photo to show different places, or maybe this in the slides. Yep. Now you can even do 20 posts in Instagram in one post. Right. 20 photos, and then same thing with video. That's why I bought the 24-70. Is I'm trying to tell. I want to tell the story even more, and I want to remember to get the super close-ups. I feel that is my struggle right now, is getting the super close-ups. Right. I feel I've been forgetting that a lot. For example, I did this video at the beach with a girl, Michelle, a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And a dress photo thing where she had a book, and we started wide, where she fell into the sand and to grab the book. Then it shows a medium shot of her grabbing the book and opening it. What I forgot, I wish I got of her like the close up of the letters.
Maybe with her fingers.
Maybe
like
her finger going like that.
Yeah.
And a close up of the letters, and then maybe a close up of her eyes.
And then a close up. Yeah.
I feel that would have added so much to it.
Yeah.
Or
it's still good.
They have close ups of the page flipping, like super close up.
Right.
When I say close up, I don't mean the book. I mean like you see this page just right here, just flipping.
Just the corner of the page.
So that's my goal right now, is just to tell the story from wide all the way in, as far as I can go. I'm thinking I've been shooting from the outside in. I'm always trying to fight that light, so that's why I forget.
Yeah.
A lot of times. Yeah. I'm thinking maybe I need to start from the inside out, so I can knock out the close-up photos, so I don't forget.
Yeah. Or if you know that you have a time sensitive because of the light, getting that wide shot for the establishing, but then focusing on the inside.
Super close-ups and then do mediums. Yeah, but and I think what I'm going to start doing too is before I go shoot with someone, because I've just been freestyling it for the past since I started, really, just kind of going with it, posing and thinking of ideas in the moment. I want to start kind of storyboarding some ideas or rough drafting some ideas. Okay, you're going to walk here, and then you're going to do this, and then adding some freestyle in the middle of that. And I think that will really take it to the next level.
Can I give you an idea?
Yeah.
So that video that you were just talking about at the beach. You wanted to incorporate more of a story, right?
Yeah.
So like maybe it could have started off with her like running away from something. Like, right. And then she falls and like she finds this book, like, but she's like panting a little bit because she's been running from something, right?
Yeah.
Maybe something's chasing her or something like that. You know, stuff like that you can incorporate. Little things like that will make a story pop out.
Definitely. So. And I've even been thinking about fantasy things, like if I could get someone to like wear the cape and stuff, or the cloak and Gambison, and I can get someone wear a dress. They can be the princess. We can create something cool, with swords and armor and stuff. Create a video, and
you have the acting experience, right? So think about like the situations they've been in, or that they are in, right? And go from there.
For sure. And I think I have a lot of people that want to always participate. They have the best time. I see when people put on these dresses, they just really. I feel like they just come out, they're just having so much fun, and I'd love to see that. It brings out like a different vibe, and they're loving it. It's fun, it's flowy, they're just having a good time. Yeah. I just love to see the happiness that it really brings, and we just run around and have a good time.
It shows in the work, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But I think the next goal would be the YouTube thing, and then storyboarding more, creating some scenes. Yeah. And storyboarding more of reels instead of freestyling it. And I think, and I guess just keep finding more gigs.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, man, I appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, for sure. This has been great.
Yeah, it means a lot, and I can't wait for everybody to see your story.
I hope you guys enjoy my story so much. A lot is shared, but I hope this inspires you.
Yeah. And, do you want to tell them where they can find you?
My tag is The French Expedition on Instagram.
The French Expedition.
Yep. And also YouTube. And I have a little bit of stuff on there, not much yet. But just find me on Instagram. And if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. I'm always trying to help out people. People always ask me questions on DMs. I'm always trying to help out. And I also have a free group you can join through there. It's like I share tips and stuff whenever I...
You got a thread, right?
It's not a thread. It's a... what's it called?
I thought it was called the thread.
Maybe it is. Subscription thing, but it's not a subscription. It's free. It's, but a little group thing you can join. But I share a lot of tips and things I've learned, and things as I learn things, I share in there. So if you ever want to ask any questions and learn, just feel free to reach out, ask me. I'm happy to help you out. And thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. That's it.
Yep. That was fun.
Yeah. Good.
Hopefully that was all right.
No, it was great. Yeah, absolutely.